Hello all, I'm Sai and you're watching the Book Dragon. In today's video, I'm bringing you my answers for the Reading Habits book tag. There are totally 11 questions in this tag and I'm going to answer all of them. I'll also drop all the questions in the description so you can answer them if you want to. So without any further ado, let's get into the video. Question number 1. Do you have a certain place at home for reading? Yes, for this question I do have specific places in my home for reading, but I do read all over my house, okay? Except the kitchen and toilet, I read everywhere in my house, and there are like two specific spots which are like the most time in which I sit and read. The first one is the bed, okay? I like to sit on my bed and just read throughout because it's so comfy and it feels so good. The second one is my most favorite of all the spots, and it is my swing. We have a patio swing at home. I've actually featured that in my reading blog. I'll link it up so you can watch it if you want to, and it just feels like not sitting, it just feels like floating when I just sit on the swing and just swing and read. It's just fun doing it that way. So these are the two main reading spots if you ask me when it comes to my home: the bed and the swing. Question number 2. Bookmark or random piece of paper. Okay, for this I always use bookmarks, and I don't even buy bookmarks that much. Okay, if I get bookmarks as compliments with the books that I buy, I just use them. I have like at least 20 to 30 bookmarks from the compliments itself which I've received, and there are also certain custom-made bookmarks which are like sold, but I don't prefer investing money in those because they are just bookmarks, right? They have to be inside the book. They are not even that much seen. If you're a bookstagrammer, that is, you take a lot of photos of books, then they might be useful for you. But I'm a booktuber, okay? I'm not going to show bookmarks every time. I'm just going to show books. So I just use the free bookmarks which I get from Amazon, and most of the times from Bookstore. Amazon bookmarks are like how to say, they are so basic. They are just advertisements rather than bookmarks. And Bookstore, they also advertise. They put their brand on the bookmark, but the quality of their bookmarks is so good. They are nice and thick, and the designs which they put on them are also good. But I always prefer a bookmark over a piece of paper. Question number 3. This is a very interesting one, and it is: can you just stop reading, or do you have to stop after a chapter or a certain number of pages? For this one, I have to stop after a chapter or a certain number of pages, okay? Even if I get some work which needs to be done now and now itself, if I have to do it within like the next 10 minutes or so, if there are like just 2 or 3 pages in order to go until the 50th page or the 10th page or the 15th page, something like that, or if the chapter is going to end in like 5 or 10 pages, I need to sit and finish that chunk of the book. Only then I can proceed to. I cannot just stop in the mid while reading and just carry on another work, because it's not possible for me. Question number 4. Do you eat or drink while reading? The answer for this is that I do neither of the two stuff, because I'm very protective when it comes to my books, and I don't even keep water near my books, okay? Water, or even how to say, packed food items near my books, because it's how to say, disaster come to true if something bad happens to my books then. So I never eat or read while I'm reading, but I do have some chewing gum sometimes when I'm reading, because it'll avoid me from wanting to eat or keeping stuff near me that might spoil the book or ruin the book. Even sometimes while you're reading something and you just use your hand the same way while turning a page, it might just put on some stains on the paper, which it like bothers me a lot. So I don't drink or eat while reading. Question number 5. Multitasking, music or TV while reading. Okay, this is the dumbest question someone might have ever asked, and who the hell can watch TV and read at the same time? Okay, it's not possible. That's the answer for me, okay, from me. Okay, I listen to music while reading most of the time. Even now at home, I was used to doing that every day while I was commuting to work, because the train will be noisy always, and I have to put in some music in my earphones, and it will just cut off the outside noise, and then I'll be reading. But in home, it's mostly quiet in my home, okay? Only during evening times or so, kids will be playing down there, so it will be so noisy, and at times I just put on my earphones and just read, because music usually helps me read a bit faster, and it also creates this nice ambience, okay? If you're a silent reader, that is, you don't use any kind of background things going on while reading, please do try some nice melodious soft music on the background, and then just try reading, because it will just enhance the experience and you will feel a lot more fresh while reading. Question number 6. One book at a time or several books at once? Have you met me? Okay, the least number of books which I read at a time is 3, okay? And currently I'm juggling between like 4 to 5 books, and usually I have at least 6 books going on. I don't know how I'm managing it, but it's like this always: 2 physical books, at least 1 ebook, and 3 to 4 audiobooks that are going simultaneously. I don't do all of them at the same time, but I have all the books running at the same time, so I'll be able to finish more than 1 book at a time. So it also helps you not get bored. Okay, sometimes while you're listening to an audiobook, and then the narration might not be that much interesting, and you might get distracted. At that time, you can just switch on to an ebook or a physical book. And sometimes it might be tiring to read a physical book, so you can just plug in your earphones and go for an audiobook. I like that choice always, so I never read just a single book and devote my entire time for 1 book, because it's difficult for me to do that. I have multiple books, minimum 3, maximum I can say 10, because I've read like 9 to 10 books at once at certain times, but at least 3 books is the thing for me. Question number 7: reading at home or everywhere? Okay, reading at home, it's not even a choice. Okay, anytime I have free time, that is, I don't have work at all, I just sit down and read. Okay, that's like one of my favorite pastimes, if you ask me. And everywhere also, because I read in literally every place. If I go to a doctor, I try to have an ebook in my phone, because it sometimes feels weird to have a physical book in a hospital where there are patients surrounding you, but you can just casually look into your phone like you're going through something, and you can just pretend that you're doing some other stuff and read. And while in the train also, I don't like speaking to people a lot, so I just plug in earphones, put on some music, and just read a book. And even in office, sometimes what happens is that while we go to a break or something, if the conversation is not that much interesting and everyone's just gone to their phones, what I do is I always have comic books downloaded from Kindle Prime Reading in my phone, and I just go to the comic books and then read them. There are even certain people who have seen me and felt so weird that you look like a buffalo while you're reading comic books, and I will be like, you can read anything anytime, okay, and anywhere. That's what matters, and I read it every place. That's the actual answer for this question. Question number 8: reading out loud or silently in your head? Okay, this is also kind of an interesting question, okay, because I like to do both. I prefer reading loud, because I don't do it a lot. It's not possible always, because there is at least one person surrounding me always, whether at home or in public places. I don't even have to say, right? Even when at home, it's not possible to be alone all the time. And at times when I'm allowed to be alone, okay, when I have the time to be alone, what I do is, if there are certain so beautiful books, okay, so in certain books the prose is so beautiful, okay, the author writes it in such a beautiful way. For example, Lee Bardugo books and Strange the Dreamer, which I'm reading now, and also The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, I'm reading currently. And most of the time when I'm reading that book, I read it out loud, because it feels good to read that book in such a way. And also certain books, just as I said, the prose is so beautiful, the words that have been used by the author, they are so rich, they are so succulent, and it just brings up this urge in me to read out loud. And I prefer to read out loud more, because it just enhances the experience of reading a lot more. Question number 9: do you read ahead or even skip pages? Okay, this is a controversial question, and the answer for this is no. Okay, first, I'm not dumb, so I'll not read the next pages and spoil myself for the ending or something else. And the next one is that I don't skip pages. Okay, I used to skip pages while I was young. I was in like 5th or 6th grade, while the book was huge. The huge books for me at that time were like 200-300 pages, and I'd skip certain parts which I don't feel interesting at all, and just move on to the interesting parts. Even then, it didn't give me that fulfilled feeling of having finished a book. But nowadays, I don't ever skip pages or chapters at all. Even if they are like the most mundane and most boring chapters, I force myself to read it, because there might even be certain chunks of things that might be hidden by the author in such parts, so that it doesn't seem that much relevant, but at the end, all those things just come and tie in, and it crystallizes in a beautiful way. So I don't skip pages. And just reading ahead, that's the stupid thing that you can do as a reader. Please don't do it if you're doing. And that's it. Number 10: breaking the spine or keeping it like new? Okay, the answer for this one is keeping it like new always. I have seen people who break the spines and they don't care about it. I don't have anything against them, but for me, if I have to read a book, it must be in such a way that I don't damage it in any way. I don't dog ear, maximum I try not to write stuff in the pages. I don't write, but I do highlight, okay, and I put on sticky notes and I annotate my books a lot, but I don't go on and just write down in them or dog ear them. Especially don't break the spine, because while the spine is broken, that's it, the book is totally ruined. The pages will come off, and so you can just see my shelf here, okay, all these spines, they are just straight and like new, except the times when the book was bought by me itself with a broken spine. Like in the case of used books that are not that great, I just go for them because they are so cheap, or they are not available anywhere else for a cheaper price. At that times, the broken spines don't matter to me because I'm just going to read it once and pass it on. But if I'm going to have them for a long period of time, or if I buy them as new copies, you can never ever find a broken spine in my collection. The last and final question number 11. Do you write in your books? The answer for this one is no. Okay, I do write in my books, but not directly on the pages. I just stick sticky notes and write on the sticky notes because I don't want to spoil the books, because they already have a lot of text in them, right? The ink already has some effect on the paper, and if I go on writing something, it will just spoil the book even more. I've seen people writing with pencils on their books. That's comparatively a less damaging way, because pencil doesn't affect the paper as much as the ink from pens does. But I prefer not to write in my books. I use highlighters, just as I said before, because it's not possible to remember everything that you read, right? So if there are certain special instances, then I go and highlight them. And while annotating also, I don't ever write in the pages. I put on sticky notes and then write on the sticky notes, because it also preserves the book, as well as it helps to restore my memory of reading the book at that instant. Okay, that's all for today, and don't forget to give your answers in the comments below. I'd like to know them a lot. If you want to get more content from me, do subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching and have a great rest of your day.